Hello and welcome to the Enchanted Butterfly Garden podcast. Introducing your host, the Goddess Angel. Let's go! Hello and welcome back to my show. My name is Angel and I am excited to share a little bit of my life with you. I have a special announcement today in honor of National Women's Business Day, and I'm really excited about it. The Enchanted Butterfly Garden has officially dropped a line of journals on Amazon, and they are available for purchase. The My Self Care Journey is a guided journal for you to use to help yourself to show your self love. It's a self love journal. It's something that you can keep track of how you're taking care of yourself and how you're loving yourself every day. There's also going to be the Just Keep Swimming, which is it's a semi-guided dotted journal. So it's like a bullet journal. It has some templates in it, but it also allows for freedom and creativity in the end of the journal with blank pages as well. So these are both very great ways to process your thoughts, and I really encourage everyone to have a journal. So check those out in the show notes. I'll put the link for the two journals that are coming out, and there will be more to come. So get excited about it. And there's also a shop where journalers can go to purchase items like cute t-shirts and tote bags to carry your journals in, and some cute other accessories that I am making for you guys. Today we are going to be talking about journaling and why it's important. But first, let's do a little tarot lesson. I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot deck for this. We're going to be talking about the Nine of Swords today, and there's plenty of reason for this. I drew this card for myself after worrying about a situation for the last couple days. I wasn't convinced of the answer that I got because I know what the Nine of Swords represents, so I kept going through the deck to find my next suitable card, as everyone does when they don't like the outcome. Of course. So I continued my reading and I put the cards away. I still was kind of unsure about it, but I put it away for now because what's the point? So later I was still anxious about it, so I'm like, you know what, let me ask again more clearly. And if you've ever pulled tarot cards, then you know you're not supposed to do that. You know you're supposed to trust the deck because, that's the point of doing it, is so that you can trust the deck. But, of course, we're hard-headed sometimes, and we like to think we can make our own choices and decisions, and, we don't like it when we get slapped in the face with the deck. But as I'm shuffling the deck over and over, I'm thinking about my anxious brain and all of its mountains of thoughts, and a card falls out ferociously, and I mean like really crazy, and lands right on my lap, as if it was placed there intentionally for me. And of course, what card was it? The Nine of Swords. The same card I just skipped past after I just said that I didn't want that card, and that was not the outcome that I was looking for. I was looking for the worst tragic situation. But the Nine of Swords is what kept coming back to me. It's really crazy when in the same day the same card can jump out of the deck twice. But that's what happened. But before we go into the 9, let's talk about the 8 real quick. The 8 of Swords card represents something keeping you tied down. Maybe a traumatic experience or being held back by something, but the situation isn't great. It could even represent you holding yourself back. But the 9 comes in after the situation as a card of mental disaster. And when I say mental disaster, I'm going off of what was actually going on in my brain. Now let's talk about what this card means and how it pertains to the situation. I think this card is for the overthinkers and the overworriers like me. It's a card of fear, anxiety, worry, nightmares. And in the card I'm looking at in the Light Seers Tarot deck, the girl is so sad and worried, and she's kneeling on the floor almost begging for it to stop. There are crows flying above her, and they're almost taunting her about it. She's covering her face with her hands in turmoil. It's how it really feels when you experience anxiety or panic attacks, or if you have PTSD. I know because I have these. I experience anxiety on a daily basis. When something triggers me, it brings me to a different world, and it's a really scary one. In the Eight of Swords, the girl is blindfolded like she can't help it, but in the Nine of Swords, she's covering her own eyes as if she doesn't know she's free. And sometimes it's really easy to get inside your head and, think of the worst possible scenario. And I know from a lot of time in therapy that I do that. I go to the worst possible scenario. And I don't always need to do that because it's not always necessary. I don't need to go to the depths of despair every time something happens that I feel like is something similar to what happened in the past. We have to remember that worrying might not be as necessary as our mind is telling us that it is. Sometimes we can build mountains out of molehills. And if you're anything like me, then every molehill can become a mountain in 2.5 seconds. This is a card of self-defeat. So what we have to do is, instead of defeating ourselves, let's talk about how we can talk ourselves into winning. Before anything though, let's grab our journals because we must do a brain dump before we take any other steps, which is leading us directly into journaling and why it's important. Have you ever gone into a situation and knew that you had anxiety in your heart about it and then ended up having a blowout argument and you spend countless hours rethinking about everything that was said and what you shouldn't have said or what you should have said? Well, imagine if before you went into this situation, you poured all those angry thoughts or confused thoughts out onto the paper and came in with a clear head. What might change in the outcome? Maybe nothing. Maybe nothing will change. But it helps to take those thoughts and put them somewhere. Maybe some angry words you later regret won't come out of your mouth and sting the person that you care about because you have an outlet for your anger or your confusion, or maybe a misunderstanding that you're having in your own mind, or maybe not. Maybe it is a valid argument. But at least you can work that out a little bit beforehand instead of just going into it gung-ho, ready to battle it out, when you could really just calm the situation a little bit and then go about it. I have to do this because with 5 TVs going on in my head, a million thought bubbles, and 2 songs playing in the background, I need somewhere to let something go. I need that vent session. And I can reread those thoughts and process what I'm actually going through before I make a huge mountain range out of a pile of dirt. And speaking of dirt, let's take a look around my garden. This week, I have all my scraps and repurposed stuff growing better than anything I planted from a seed pack, which, I guess that makes sense because I'm planting an already established plant, but I guess I just didn't really put that together in my brain until now, which is fine, better late than never, but I hope that I can help someone else realize how easy it is to regrow your own scrap vegetables that you buy in the store, and then you don't ever have to buy them again. Maybe like 1 or 2 more times so you can regrow those also, but my cabbage is growing beautifully, and all I did was cut off the bottom and stick it in some dirt, put some water in there every once in a while. It also has a random microgreen growing in there because that's what happens when you drop 15,000 microgreen seeds on the floor and watch them bounce wildly around the kitchen. So now there are microgreens growing in just about every plant I have, which is fine, but it's a little bit silly. My radishes are growing great. They're almost ready to harvest. So I planted them about a week ago. So they are doing fantastic for a vegetable that you can literally plant and a week later eat. And they are going to be delicious. I can't wait to try them. And I still have my planted pinto bean that I took out of my bag of pinto beans and put in a 2-liter bottle upside down and put some water and dirt in there. And now I have 2 little bean sprouts popping out of the soil, and one is getting gigantic. So it already has its first set of leaves and it's working on some more. So I'm going to have to repot that one. I'm also going to have to repot the green onion that is in there because I planted that on my birthday and now it is almost touching the plant light. So it's going wild. It already has 3 little leaves coming out, or whatever you call those things that look like onions. I assume they're leaves, but they are growing so crazily towards the light that I am going to definitely have to repot that one also. It's just crazy how easy it is to just replant your vegetables and make a garden. I guess I never really thought about the desperate need to make food appear until I realized that in my past I had been starved because of a situation I was in for almost a year, and I only say that so I can express how important it is to be able to survive. Maybe if I would have known how to grow my own vegetables, I would have had more security in my food situation. Maybe not, but I would rather be prepared to survive in any situation than to be unprepared and have to learn the hard way. Oh, the other thing I'm waiting on is my pea shoots. I'm waiting for them to sprout. I planted them in a container that I made. It's self-watering, and it is made out of a cookie container. And all I did was take the tray out of a container, like the little paper ones you get from the store. I'll post a picture of it. I think I posted it on my TikTok. But you cut it in half, and then you poke a few holes in the bottom of one of them. And then you put the dirt in there, plant some microgreen seeds, put the water in the second one that doesn't have holes, and put the first one on top of the second one. And it makes a wonderful little seed starter, or you can use it for microgreens, and they'll grow to full size in there. So it's pretty cool and easy. I did post a TikTok on it, so go ahead and check that out. I'm going to take some time and plant some new things this week, so I'll have a wonderful update next week. Make sure you check the show notes for my social media links and grab your new My Self-Care Journey journal from the link below. Now, let's take all that worrying, dump it out of your brains, and fill it with some positive thoughts and dreams and goals. My name is Angel, and I look forward to listening for you next time.